My name is Jason Max Ferdinand. I'm assistant professor of music here at Oakwood University and also director of choral activities.
Very good. And you, sir?
My name is Wayne Bucknor. I serve as chair of the music department, piano professor.
Yes, the World Choir Olympics, which for the first time will be held here in the United States of America. I believe the last one was held in China, and before that Austria and Germany, I believe. I know Wayne will probably speak later about the initial call invitation that we got back in August and until this time. But yeah, the World Choir Games are a huge event. We're finding out as we go. 300 and something choirs from around the world that will be participating in various categories. So it seems to be a big deal and looking forward to it.
Well, let me see. You mentioned Russia, and we got the initial call, I think it was in about August. And I'm not sure who this gentleman was, but I think he was a volunteer working with the committee. And he just thought that it would be a great idea for our choir to do it. At the time, we were preparing for Russia, so we didn't really respond then. And then I think he and another person called early in the next year, after we got back from Russia, just really, really wanting us to be a part of this competition. And we were wondering why they're calling, us to be a part. And we didn't realize how big it was. So it's just an honor to actually be asked to be a part of the competition. I think part of the requirements for getting in, there are two parts of the competition. There's an open level and then there's a champions competition. And one of the requirements to get into the champions is actually an invitation from that panel or, also winning a national competition like we have before.
This is a national competition. This past November, we returned to the ISANG ABCU, Historically Black Colleges and University Choir Competition, and we won for a second time.
So you mean to say then that you won in 2010 and 2011?
Correct.
Which thereby makes you, in this state where we have Auburn Tigers and Alabama Crimson Tide, you are the only Alabama national back-to-back college champions.
Yeah.
What did that mean for you, and what did that mean for the choristers?
Oh man, it kind of just inspired us after the first year's win, having to go back, because I think the second time we just felt so much more pressure, just trying to, work at a high level again. But it meant a lot of reaffirmation. It encouraged us to work even harder we saw what we were capable of, and to try to match that and go even further. It served as fuel to the engine. So
I mean, I think it speaks to dedication. It speaks to, preparation by faculty and students that are just willing to serve. Of course, we'd love to award them scholarships, so that's a plug for scholarships. Yeah, we have a wonderful faculty, we have a wonderful student body, and just really talented. We get them from everywhere. Oakwood is a historically black institution, and it's a Seventh-day Adventist college as well, so we get them from all over the world. And we're just blessed to serve here and to teach these students.
I think part of that whole picture is someone may come into the Aeolians being a singer and then leave being an Aeolian. Being an Aeolian is a really, really special thing. As Wayne said, it takes dedication. Like many other choirs, a lot of hard work and practice. Being an Aeolian, it's one of those things that's hard to put in words. Being an Aeolian encapsulates that Oakwood sound we keep coming back to. having a real good photo image of what that is in your head. I know with the choirs I've had in the last 4 years, that's a word we use all the time, and if I bring back some of my former students now, they know what that means. Being an Aeolian is, you learn about sacrifice and being accommodating to others. And we have that mantra that we always use: once an Aeolian, always an Aeolian. So, we stem from the present group all the way back to Wayne's generation.
That's hard to put into words, but I think elements of the Oakwood sound, excellence. I think our denomination and our school strive for excellence. So in whatever style that we're singing in, gospel, spiritual, chorale, we're striving for excellence. I think that the sound has been affected and shaped by people that have been successful in the industry. You're speaking Take Six, Virtue, Committed. So, obviously when those people are successful, everyone's hearing them, and at least our denomination, our school, is actually listening to their music and trying to emulate what we hear. So I know that from playing or from singing, the alumni or the new students have always listened to old alumni. So, and I'm sure Take Six, who would Take Six have listened to? There had to be someone before then, the brothers,
Colombians.
Cathedral Quartet. I don't even know them, but there's a succession, and so I don't know how to really define that sound, but it's definitely ancestral.
Okay.
I think one other part of that too is the SDA Church, and specifically Oakwood's campus, 50s, 60s, probably even 70s, drums and percussion instruments were not really allowed. And I think what happened was the groups and singers then started to rely on the harmony part of music. And so if you really listen to Oakwood sound, the harmony is a critical part of that. Close harmonies. And the rhythmic element we kind of learned to do without the literal percussion instruments. It'll come in the form of a bass line or something. So we found other ways to compensate the lack of percussion in church or chapels or whatever we had here. I just use that term when I'm trying to convey, the whole culture of orchestral arranging and the colors that it produce and the way they voice stuff. And I always try to use a lot of analogies with choirs and orchestra. So I just kind of joined the two to make it vocastration. Vocastration is approaching a passage of music or a particular sound as an orchestra would. With the orchestra, I don't want to bore you with all the details, but orchestra.
No, bore me.
Orchestra. If I'm sitting here playing my clarinet, Wayne is over here playing the violin, but he can't see he doesn't see what I'm doing. Whereas in a choir, we all looking at scores, and I could see exactly what he's doing. So in an orchestra, there's an added element of really having to listen and really being aware of things you're not seeing. Just doing that just opens up a whole new world. And choirs, at least in my choirs, I've learned that with that added element of really trying to work together, just kind of creates a different synergy as opposed to just. So vocastration takes in a lot of different things. It takes in auditory things. It takes in the making of colors, producing different colors. For example, I'll say, okay, let's sing this like a string choir, or guys, this part is brass. So vocastration is a term I kind of like. It just opens up a whole different world to me. Well, I believe there are like 23 different categories in this big thing, and we are entered into 3: music of the religions, the Negro spiritual, and contemporary music.
Now break those down for me. The Negro spiritual. Let me not make any assumptions. Why did we choose to enter that category?
To be honest, I think when one of their representatives contacted our manager, they specifically wanted us in that category. I do remember that. And the Aeolians over the years have prided themselves in, being excellent in the singing of Negro spirituals. I think most HBCUs, do really well. That's our heritage. That's kind of where we came from. So the Negro spiritual will be an obvious choice. Music of the religions, we chose that because it'll give us a chance to go back to what we were just talking about. That Oakwood sound, that Seventh-day Adventist sound. There's so many times we go so many places and people from other denominations will say, you Seventh-day Adventists have something different. So we picked that category because it'll showcase. I think we do one of Wayne's compositions there, and one of my arrangements, and Theodore Thorpe's Seven Fall Our Men. So it'll give us a chance to really showcase, Seventh-day Adventist music. And what's the other category? The contemporary category. I'm not particularly sure why we picked that one, but I know that one will give us a chance to really show some newer things. I really believe in, championing new music, which I think we've done a pretty good job of. One of the challenges in that category was to, there has to be a song from a composer who does not reside in your particular country. So we decided to do Joseph Swider's Cantata Domino, a Polish composer, and the composer still has to be alive. And it was a very, very challenging piece, which we haven't done in 3 years.
Is it three? 3 years?
So this present,
Is that the one on the CD?
it's one of the
Song
first
number
CD.
2?
I don't know. You told me now. So this present Aeolian group doesn't know it. So this is going to be very interesting because they have homework that they should be doing right now. And hopefully when we come next Friday, it kind of comes together. It's a very, very challenging piece. If we do well, it'll make a very good impression. And if we do badly, it'll be a very poor impression.